Hey, I'm Yoshi, and I'm gonna be interviewing everyone!
As many of you probably already know, this all started 13 years ago when I played my first Mario game and dreamed up the idea of making my own feature-length Super Mario Bros. Movie. And after being disappointed with both of Illumination's attempts, I figured what better time than now to finally finish my project. My movies are made in 4 phases: development, pre-production, production, and post-production. The development process is about getting all my ideas together to form the story. And for Super Mario Bros. Origins, that phase lasted for around 12 years. But this film story has a lot going on with it, and I took my time to make sure that everything is done right. I wanted to tell a meaningful story instead of just advertising the games. But once I finally finished up the story, I moved on to pre-production, which is the phase where I get everything ready for filming, like the props and sets, and in my case, the music. And once I have everything ready, I move on to production, which I'm pretty sure you can guess is the process of actually making the movie. When filming, I managed to get thousands of shots that I had to edit together into one film. Not to mention the fact that I also had to add the music and sound effects, but thankfully I decided to edit each scene one at a time. And that brings me to the final phase, post-production. And that's the phase where I add all the final touches and edits to the movie so that I can get it ready for release. I wanted the film to have a message of brotherly love, which makes sense because it's the Mario Bros. And I wanted Mario's want for staying in the Kingdom world to be a big part of the movie, because in Illumination's version it kinda just happens at the end, but in Super Mario Bros. Origins it's a gradual process that sends Mario and Luigi into conflict at one point, and it becomes a big part of both of their character arcs. And if you don't know what a character arc is, it's a character's process of growing as a person over the course of the film and making a change at the end. I wanted the action sequences in the movie to not just be mindless noise, but also contribute to Mario and Luigi's character arcs. Mario's character arc is to be himself, no matter what other people think of him. And Luigi's character arc is about accepting good changes in life when they're needed. And the events leading up to their change at the end are all part of that. Now it's time to explain the roles of the characters in the film, but I'm gonna let them do that themselves in Yoshi's interviews.
It's a me, Mario! With my character, the director wanted to go all out since this is my origin story after all, and also my brother Luigi. We both had different character arcs, yet our characters had a pretty good dynamic. Super Mario Bros. Origins is a story about believing in yourself and dealing with change. When I only focus about what people thought about me in Brooklyn, I didn't do so great. But when I use that information as motivation for the future, I did super! It's a me, Luigi. My character was the one that was all about dealing with change. New places, new homes, stuff like that can seem kinda scary at first. But if it's for the better, then I'm all for it. As long as I stick by my brother Mario, I believe that everything's going to be okie-dokie.
I don't really have anything to say. My movie's coming up next.
Wait, are we just all side characters? Greetings, I am Princess Peach. Despite me being the damsel in distress in the source material, the director wanted to do something more with my character. So I got my own arc about learning where I belong. Despite the fact that I came from another world, the Mushroom Kingdom is still my home, and that's how it's gonna stay. Okay. Camera's all set up. I hope I can be seen, okay? Alright, that's better. I'm Yoshi! I'm a supporting character who gave Mario and Luigi a lot of great advice. I also kinda represent how this whole thing started and how Mario and Luigi are connected to the Kingdom world in a lot more ways than they think. The whole thing started with them, and so it's only right that they get to finish it. I'm not talking to you. Birdo, you better do this. Well, how about I just interview your ex first, Cassie? Don't call me that! Alright, you get up there!
Fine. I'm Bowser, the king of the Koopas. I was meant to represent that the Kingdom world isn't all fun and games. Some Kingdom leaders mean business, but now that I think about it, I'm kind of the reason Mario and Luigi even got here in the first place. You know what? I don't want to do this.
I was meant to represent a side that Mario could eventually turn into if he went down his path of trying to prove himself. But after seeing what I did just to prove myself, Mario realized that maybe it's just not worth it. But I still managed to be the greatest villainess the world's ever seen. Birdo? Yeah? Shut it.
Okay, thanks for that, guys. Anyways, pre-production lasted around 3 months, but production itself lasted around 8. Making a film like Super Mario Bros. Origins was not easy, especially considering its runtime. Plus, I had a bunch of scenes that demanded a lot of work. I knew that for a lot of scenes, I couldn't just use the plushes, I had to combine them with some little animations. But those were usually used for action sequences. Every time I had to do one of those scenes, I would plan it out days in advance and animate all the parts that would need to be animated. Then when the day came to film, I would put all the live action parts with the animated parts into one scene. And in the end, it turned out to flow pretty nicely. But even before I do the animations, usually a week in advance, I would have to edit all the music together. So I searched online for some of the best music tracks I could find and put together the ones I figured would best fit the scene. Then I'd add the channels who created them to the credits, go show your support to them, and finally go through with all the other stuff I just told you about. For the animated scenes with the plushes, I would first have to take a picture of the plush, then manually remove the background and add them in. And doing that for the amount of characters I have took a long time. And there were also times where the characters themselves would have little animations, so I'd have to put them on a blue screen. During the editing process, I would have to adjust the volume for each individual clip, as well as the music and sound effects so that everything could be heard clearly. My video editors did crash a few times while making this movie, but honestly that's kind of expected for a project like this. My next film is definitely going to be shorter, and with everything I've learned from this production process, the next one should be a lot easier and faster. But even after the film was done, the work wasn't. I had to manually add subtitles to the entire movie and make bonus features like this one in order to get it on DVD, but that's not something I'll talk about today, because as of today I haven't even made the DVD menu yet. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna talk about for today. Maybe you can go watch Mario Bros. Origins again, because now I've added subtitles, and I hope you look forward to my next film, the Donkey Kong Country movie.